All right.
All right, cool.
Number 5.
Last one. Give this a good mix for you guys. Good.
Good.
Good. Good mix. Good. Good, 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 good. Yeah, well, I feel like this interview has been good.
I'm glad. That's what I want. I really do want everyone who comes and talks to me to feel good about it.
Have they felt good?
Everyone that has. As far as I know. No one's said otherwise. No one's been like, screw you, Logan.
Yeah. Logan Smith, forget him. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, who needs Logan Paul when you got Logan Smith? Come on, guys.
I've never met him.
I've never met him either.
I've never watched any of his stuff. I only know about the really bad.
I didn't actually know that Jake Paul and Logan Paul were different people.
Oh, yeah?
But they're brothers or something like that. And when this whole thing arose, I was like
what is
who is this and who is this? Why do they have the same last name? And then I kind of started putting it together.
It's all connected together anyways.
It's very, very weird. But apparently Logan Paul, I think he's 22, maybe 23 this year, so that's only like a year or two older than me. Yeah. So he looks way older, and I kind of thought he was older.
Yeah. I would say he looks closer to 30.
He looks more like your age, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, he looks a lot older than that. So it is odd. It
is.
Like, I didn't know he was that young.
No.
No. Not that that's an excuse for what he did, because he should have people around him that'll just be like, hey, this is not okay.
Yeah, that's kind of common knowledge. Yeah, that's not good.
That's right. What Logan Paul did, and if you're in the time 2018, early 2018, you know, if you look him up, you'll know he did something very bad.
Yeah.
And he...
But enough about him. He's had his time, so...
Someone else can fill in his spot on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, like... If someone wants to fill in that spot, I don't have a problem with, let's just talk about this for a second. I don't have a problem with social media influencers. I don't have an issue with YouTubers or anything like that. I just think when you're given a platform or you create a platform, you should do something with the platform besides just straight up comedy 24/7 100% of the time, if that makes sense, because it's kind of like, I feel like obviously you don't have to be a political actor or anything like that. I'm not asking you to be a politician or run for mayor or governor or anything. But I think like when you're given a platform, you should take some time to say something about the issues that are arising in the world, or like shed some light on it, or maybe have a piece that kind of mix in with a topic of conversation that's extremely popular, because I think social media influencers influence this generation that's below us that is coming up, and it kind of it plays a massive part and a very, very big part. Like my younger sister is 12, 13 this year. It's like she's just watching YouTubers, so this is where she's getting her information from. And there was a point in time where she was like pro Donald Trump back in the election time, but obviously she was just saying it because that's what she's hearing on media about how he's so bad and whatever. So she kind of just went the opposite, because that's what people her age and social media kind of do. They just kind of want to go against the status quo or whatever. So I think social media influencers have a massive responsibility, and that quote of with great responsibility comes great power.
Great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I'm a bit mixed on this one in that, like, I don't think that people necessarily have an obligation to go out of their way to try to make a statement. Yeah. But I think that the things that they do should be what they believe is good. Right? Like if you say you believe that, to stick with Donald Trump, if you believe that Donald Trump is going to be a bad president, then you shouldn't do things that promote him as good. Right? And if you believe that he's good, then you shouldn't do things that promote him as bad. Yeah. Right? You should, as far as you can be honest when you do these things, right? But you should make your art positive, or make your whatever you're doing to help people in general. Like, I don't know I guess I feel like people still have a responsibility to try and uplift and make the world better.
Yeah.
I don't know that they have a responsibility to make specific comments about the current events.
That's understandable, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think there's a difference, but similarities to the whole being political and being positive, if that makes sense. You can definitely be political and talk about current events and what's happening with racism, just government, etc., or you could just be positive about mental health, about happiness, about bullying awareness or whatever that sort of thing is, and just being positive and open and honest and that sort of thing. So I think you can go either way, but nonetheless it's still a responsibility that you kind of got to take on. But it's hard because the way that I want the world to go, or the way that I want the town to go, is very different from the way that you want it to go. But for
presumably,
me,
since I don't know,
we haven't discussed this. Yeah, for sure. There probably are some similarities, for sure. But for me personally, I would never feel like I want this way to happen because that's what I vision, that's what I dream of. So we are going to go that way. I would more so be inclined to listen and hear what the majority kind of wants, because for one person to say we are going this way while other people want to go that way, who are you to say no? Unless it's something super negative, then obviously stand up and speak out. But
I think that all people should do their best to promote good. Yeah. Right. Whatever they believe is good. And then I think that as a nation, as a country, as a municipality, however you want to break it down, that we should strive to listen to the majority, right? So we have votes, and I believe in majority rule, in that if the majority of people want to do something that's, in my view, bad, the majority gets to make that call, right? But I have the responsibility to go, I think this is bad, and here's why, and I think this would be better, and here's why. And so I do my best to promote what's right. But if everyone else is like, no, that's not what we want to do, and then we're like, well, this is our country, and we have to have laws, and we have to have rules, and this is the law we want, and everyone says, this is what we want, then I can't say, 100%. Hey, you can't do that. As long as they don't infringe on my individual rights
and freedoms,
right? As long as they're not like, well, we're turning into a communism now, and you're not allowed to leave. You know, like that would be a gross violation, right? To me, that would be completely wrong, and we should not allow that to happen.
Never.
As long as people are still free to get away, and you're not forcing them to do things that go against their morality. If they can opt out, then I think you're okay, right? And that becomes tricky when you have to have taxes and things like that, because people don't get to pick and choose how much taxes they pay. And I don't think that it would be reasonable or feasible to do that.
It'd be very complicated.
It'd be extremely complicated.
Very complicated with like healthcare and that sort of thing. It'd be too much. So I think majority.
I think that's how you kind of have to do it.
Which
is not actually how we run things.
No, which is actually kind of strange.
It's not how we run things here. It's not how they run things in the United States. It's
definitely not. No majority down there.
But and almost too, like I feel like that would work best in smaller environments, right? So like you have the municipality here or the town or whatever, and then they should have the most governmental authority, I think. But just over their own little spot, because then everyone can actually, everyone's regions there who can actually know what's going on and know what they're talking about, and then save the more broad but less effective in the day-to-day life on people to the provincial or federal governments, right?
Because what affects Ontario doesn't always affect BC
it's
and
just
different.
Or even if they do affect both of them, potentially be effective in different ways, and the way to address them best could be totally different.
For sure.
Right? So it's...
I think that's like recycling, like...
Right.
Many different ways you can recycle, and I'm sure there's multiple different processes that each city, municipality has throughout Canada, and there's probably some that work very, very well for different regions, while others do not. And yeah, there's definitely a lot you could talk about that. But before we wrap it up, I just wanted to say one more thing, and I hope it's on the tip of my tongue still. And I think it was kind of we were talking about just good and the way the majority wants to go. And the other argument to the... I'm just going to go back to Logan Paul real quick here. The other argument is to it, why are people so intrigued to actually see that and watch it? Because I'm not going to lie to you, I did actually look up the video because I wanted to actually see what people were talking about. I wanted to know the content, the evidence, before I made an actual judgment, because people are very rash and they can go extremist. So I wanted to see that, and yes, it was very disturbing, and I kind of wish I didn't see it, but I still had that curiosity, and there are many young people out there that are very curious about that sort of thing. So it's like, if that's the kind of way that generation wants to go, who am I to say no? Because it is interesting, it's very disturbing at the same time, but humans are very interested people. Like, we find things intriguing. We want to know what we don't know. So it's hard, but there's a way to do it. There's a way to be appropriate about it, and there's a way to not be appropriate, and that wasn't appropriate. It wasn't appropriate.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Had it been 15, 16 years ago, I would have watched it. For sure.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, no, I don't need to see that.
Yeah.